Part 38. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 371. Chapter 371. A plan comes up. You don't need to worry about it, old woman. Li Yue cursed and walked out. Old woman, she is as bad as Ying Sisi. She has sores on her head and pus on her soles. Ying Sisi grabbed a handful of dirt from the round stone table in the courtyard and threw it on Li Yue. Ah! Li Yue felt a chill on her head and neck, and she screamed. Everything was mud to the touch. Turning his head, he met Ying Sisi's murderous eyes. There was no time to get angry, and my heart was raised. What are you looking at? I've never seen a beautiful woman. She walked away quickly. Ying Sisi said coldly and quietly, don't run away if you can. Who slipped away? Li Yue kept walking. After turning around the shadow on the wall, Ying Sisi could no longer see her. When I went out, I met my next door neighbor Aunt Jian. Aren't you going to stay here for dinner? Aunt Jian greeted warmly. Li Yue had a plan in mind. She had a very good impression of Aunt Jian. In her previous life, she married into the Qin family. Whenever she had a conflict with Qin Yanxi, the other party would stand by her. She even asked people from the Women's Federation to seek justice for her, without any fear of offending the Qin family. She considered him her own from the bottom of her heart. Ying Sisi would never dare to fight her when the other person was by her side. She planned to let the other party publicize Ying Sisi's life experience and what she did to the Li family for her, and deliberately said, hello, Aunt Jian, I don't dare to stay here. Hey! Don't dare to stay, what's wrong, why are you sighing? Li Yue then said, Auntie, you don't know something. Ying Sisi appeared and interrupted Li Yue. Li Yue, are you confusing right and wrong again? Auntie, let me tell you, why don't you keep her? She reported that I was doing business in the family court, and the people from the supervision office came directly to search. Because nothing was found, I was criticized by my neighbors, so I had no choice but to move back in. As for her, the supervisor issued a warning notice for causing trouble, and her work unit suspended her. If you don't criticize yourself, come and find me. She explained the reasons in detail. Li Yue hated it so much that she only reported it after seeing it with her own eyes. It must be that Ying Sisi transferred the goods in advance. Or maybe Qin Yanjun covered it up. You are so slanderous, she said angrily. Ying Sisi, the heaven and the earth can be used as a guide, and the sun and the moon can be used as a guide. Swear if you can. Li Yue pointed at her and said. It's your fault, why do you want me to swear? Aunt Jian's look at Li Yue suddenly changed. Even if she wasn't a mother, she was still a father, right? He actually reported his own sister for doing business. She responded to Sic's injustice, aren't you using strong words? Sci has such a good temper. If someone said that to me, I would have to spoon into her mouth. Aunt Jian, you don't know. Halfway through Li Yue's words, Li Junlu, who had already walked out of the alley, urged sternly, Yue, why don't you leave? When Qin Yanjun comes back, will he return the betrothal gift to him? Li Yue was particularly impatient. At the critical moment of her confrontation with Ying Sisi, why did she call her? And today, wasn't he sure that Ying Sisi would admit defeat? The results of it? Nothing was accomplished. Let's go, Li Junlu urged again and returned. Li Yue had no choice but to move when she saw this. Here we come, she complained after meeting Li Junlu, I was talking to my aunt about Ying Sisi. Why are you urging me? Qin Yanjun is coming back soon. Ying Sisi has nothing to do with me. Qin Yan the army will demand the bride price from me at any time. Li Yue, didn't you also give Ying Sisi a cabinet as a dowry? How much is it? Ying Sisi lives in our house, eats and drinks from us, She should pay for it, right? Li Yue said. Do you think Qin Yanjun will let you say it? Li Junlu said. I told your mother not to call her less, but if you don't listen, I can't even find an excuse now. That Ying Sisi is also a white-eyed wolf. Can she see her biological father without me? I really regret taking her to see Shen Yuxian. Li Junlu regretted his mistake. He should find out Shen Yuxian's situation clearly before taking Ying Sisi to see him. Li Yue also regretted giving up her marriage to Qin Yanxi. If she readjusts her mentality, just like Ying Sisi, she can take Qin Yanxi and live a good life instead. Now she also has a college student from Yanjing as a partner. Not Feng Shuangzi, the man who scooped up excrement. Having said that, Qin Yanxi is indeed difficult to deal with. I really don't know how Ying Sisi subdued him. She now wants to live a wealthy life with no worries about food and clothing, and the best shortcut she can take is to become Ying Sisi's stepmother. But Shen Yuxian is that guy. She asked many women, and they all said that it is impossible for men not to be lustful. I absolutely cannot control the woman who comes to my door for free. Does she want to have a close-range hookup? Aunt Jian here looked at Li Yue's back and said, she was not born to the same mother, but it is difficult to unite. Look at her like this, as if you owe her something. Hey, I can't do anything about her. Who told me that I was once her sister? It's right to let her go. Ying Sisi's words were very clever, not only clarifying the relationship between her and Li Yue, but also revealing the relationship between her and Li Yue. The breakdown of their relationship. Aunt Jian echoed, it doesn't matter if you don't recognize such a sister, your dad can't figure it out either. When you two sisters quarreled, he didn't dissuade you, but hid away. Is there something wrong in his heart? It stands to reason that if Yanxi was admitted to college, he would also. Even if I have benefited from you, I should treat you well. How can I be so virtuous? Who knows about him? Ying Sisi said some bad words about Li Yue again. Auntie, I have to go home and cook. Let's talk when we have time. After Ying Sisi separated from Aunt Jian, she went into the kitchen with the old lady. The old lady looked around. Have you found a cleaner at your house? The house is much neater than when I came here before. No, what are you doing? I feel bad that I have to clean such a big house by myself. Yeah, it's okay to clean up once in a while, but how tired will it be if it goes on like this? The old lady felt distressed. She had a sister in her family, and she couldn't live a good life because of her urination. How many days did she enjoy the blessings in the city? He took on another job. You must ask Yanxi to urge his parents to quickly find an aunt to replace you. I'm already looking for it. You reminded me of something. Ying Sisi took advantage of the fact that there was still time and put down what she was doing. Grandma, I have to go out for a while. You can rest first. I'll have dinner waiting for you. Mother-in-law comes back to do it. How long will you be out for? The old lady asked with concern. It will take an hour at the fastest. Ying Sisi pushed the bicycle and left. Driving out of the alley, I met my parents-in-law head-on. Both parties stopped to say hello. Qin Yanjun, fetch your grandma. I brought it back. There's something missing. I'll go get it. Ying Sisi rode away quickly. Hey, have you eaten yet? Before Qin Yanjun finished speaking, Ying Sisi was already some distance away from him, and he complained, this child. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 372. Chapter 372, Talking with Fists. Ying Sisi spent half an hour rushing to the area near Aunt Jin's house and gave an aunt 50 cents to find out about Aunt Jin. Learning that Aunt Jin stole tobacco and alcohol from her employer's house and spread rumors about her employer's son has spread all over the world. As soon as I go out, I will be criticized by others. I haven't seen them all day. Ying Sisi is so happy. Soon I began to worry again. If I haven't gone out for a day, I can't stand other people's comments and commit suicide collectively, right? She only planned to teach Aunt Jin a profound lesson, and had no intention of forcing them to a dead end. She said, if Aunt Jin doesn't go out, she won't be talked about by others and will kill herself, right? Haha, you really think about it. I just saw smoke coming out of their chimney. Yang Sisi calmed down a lot after hearing this. Hey, let's talk about Cao Cao. Cao Cao is here. The aunt raised her voice. Sister Jin, come and sit here. I won't sit down anymore. Aunt Jin buried her head low and left. Yang Sisi said goodbye to her aunt and followed her quietly. In a place with few people, she said, Aunt Jin, have you been having a good time these 2 days? Aunt Jin turned around sharply, and Yang Sisi was right behind her. She was frightened and took 2 steps back. You did it? Aunt Jin, do you know the consequences of offending me? Do you know why you didn't dare to say anything after the previous aunt left? A thin layer of sweat broke out on Aunt Jin's head. I have no choice but to do it. Who forced you? Did someone else force you to do something, or did they force you to spread rumors about me and a CI? Yang Sisi didn't let others openly say that Aunt Jin eavesdropped on their bed, which was already considered a favor to her. You have so much good cigarettes and good wine sitting there and not using them. What's wrong with me taking a few of them? What happened between you and your partner is also true. I heard it really and truly, and I can do it. Why don't you dare to let others talk about it? Aunt Jin said loudly, do you think my life has been easy these days? My husband's family said something about me, my mother's family said something about me, and others criticized me. I almost don't want to live anymore. Yang Sisi originally did not dare to go out because of the criticism that Aunt Jin's family had received, and she felt guilty. At this moment, I want to slap myself in the face. How can she sympathize with evildoers? She crossed her arms and said in a condescending manner, then why don't you die? You. Yang Sisi raised her eyebrows slightly, what am I? Did I say something wrong? Your family's money is being saved for no use, can I use it to use it? If you can do what you and your partner are doing under the covers, can I also do it? Can you go out and tell the story? Do you believe that I will find a storyteller tomorrow and make you a character in the story and become famous in Yanjing? Aunt Jin became mute and was stunned for a long time. She sat down on the ground, slapped her thighs and howled. You're such a bully, why is my life so miserable? Her behavior attracted the attention of passers-by. Yang Sisi got on her bicycle and said, you shout as hard as you can, I will always take back what you owe me. You dare. If you make me anxious, I will tell you that you are someone else's illegitimate daughter. Yang Sisi's eyebrows were filled with anger, and she stared at the other party gloomily. Aunt Jin suddenly became afraid. Swallowed, what do you want to do? Don't you know what I want to do? Yang Sisi clenched her fists. Aunt Jin backed up with her hands on the ground. If you come any closer, I will call someone. Yang Sisi threw the car and punched the opponent to the ground. Then sit on the other person. Speak with your fists. Aunt Jin screamed for help. There were many people watching, but no one could hold back the fight. Until I heard the patrol's voice. Hey, what are the people gathering over there for? Disperse immediately. Yang Sisi immediately jumped up, picked up the cart with lightning speed, got on the horse and ran away. Caught by the patrol, she could only ask her father-in-law to ransom her. She can't afford to embarrass anyone. When the patrol came closer, Aunt Jin was already being helped up by the crowd. Her eyes were dull and confused. Obviously frightened. From everyone's mouths, they knew that Yang Sisi was the perpetrator. What does that man look like? Asked the captain. She is a very beautiful girl, around 20 years old. Her skin and facial features are as if they were painted on someone. Even when I hit someone, I can't hold it back at all. Her strength can't be compared to that of a big man. They are all big. The patrol asked Aunt Jin. Aunt Jin's mouth opened and closed, but she couldn't say a word. The patrol team sent him back. Ask his family members whether Aunt Jin has offended anyone recently. From the stumbling retelling of Aunt Jin's husband, we learned that she stole things from her employer's house and spread rumors about them. Perhaps she was retaliated for this. The patrol team left directly. They did not want to get involved in such noisy matters. Yang Sisi did not go home directly, but went to the west of the city to find an aunt who would help her publicize Aunt Jin's behavior. Pay the other half of the remuneration. The aunt happily took it and said, the check was settled so quickly. Well, it's almost done. Yang Sisi beat Aunt Jin, which relieved her a lot. Shall be made in a merciful place and should be made merciful to others. Aunt Ruojin will be a good person from now on. This matter will be revealed here, if the other party bites her and refuses to let go. She fought against it to the end. Next time you need me, come to me at any time, the aunt said. No need to do it next time, I still have a mission here. Yang Sisi told the aunt about Li Yue's bad behavior. When you go to the door of her unit, tell everyone what she did. I don't dare to make any mistakes at the entrance of a public institution. The aunt retreated. She doesn't make any money. Yang Sisi, don't be afraid, you are not making rumors, they are all facts. Just tell others like gossip. If you don't believe it, you can ask. She said the name of the street. Auntie believed it. She is familiar with this street, and it's not a random name. Moreover, the girl's family is kind and she pays readily. What you say should be true. She should do this. Yang Sisi paid and left. Back to the courtyard, it was completely dark. As soon as he entered the courtyard, Qin Yanxi walked out of the side room. "Sisi, where have you been? The matter is done." Yang Sisi summed up what she had done in a few words. Qin Yanxi laughed out loud after hearing this. In my life, this is the first time I've heard of someone specializing in helping quarrels and spreading rumors. I just heard about it not long ago. Yang Sisi said, I will go back to my hometown early tomorrow morning. Please take care of yourself. Why don't you get close to me before we leave? Qin Yanxi was looking forward to her agreement. It's not convenient for me to take grandma with me. Yang Sisi refused. Qin Yanxi was helpless, her reply was wrong. What is the connection between taking the old lady with him and being intimate with him? Avoid getting close to him openly. Is there such a thing as a wife? When is it convenient? He asked. Yang Sisi, when it's convenient for me. Qin Yanxi's depressed mood suddenly cleared up. Did her words imply to him that she did not resist him? Please vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 373. Chapter 373, What can we do in the future? I won't talk to you anymore. Yang Sisi looked at the old lady. As soon as she entered the house, she heard the old lady nagging her, Why are you doing things so late? Have you eaten? No. The meal your mother-in-law left specially for you in the kitchen is probably still warm. Yang Sisi went to the kitchen to find something to eat and opened the pot. A large bowl of rice and a large portion of fish slices turned over with chopsticks and side dishes. Who cut the fish into such pieces? Give her leftovers. So hungry. It's done. She put the fish and vegetables into the bowl and carried them back to the guest room. Did you see the banquet speech? He also came back very late and helped you pick out all the fish bones after dinner. Apart from your father, he is the only one in the world who cares so much about you. Don't worry about your own affairs. Please pay more attention to others, the old lady said sincerely. Feelings are mutual. You can't always let him pay unilaterally. As time goes by, your heart will become cold, and it will be too late for you to regret it. Yang Cixi paused while biting the fish's mouth. It turned out that he broke the fish by picking at the thorns. What the old lady said makes sense. The feelings are mutual. It's like a savings account. Only money is stored in it and can be withdrawn when needed. She began to reflect silently. He also doesn't want to become another person's shadow. Who doesn't want to have an independent personality? This is not his fault. She secretly made up her mind to be nice to him. He responded vaguely, I understand. Don't just say it but don't do it. You haven't mentioned him once in front of me recently. You were not like this before. Do you think that people care about you and you are drifting away? I am telling you seriously. Man, you can't take him too seriously, and you can't take him too seriously. He is a college student, and his knowledge and vision are worth learning from you in all aspects. When you are with him, and if you take advantage of him, you have to do your part. The old lady imparted her experience and said with regret, when I was young, I thought of this, but I was too arrogant and missed many opportunities to climb up. I consciously found a place to live without fighting against the world, and I could live in peace for the rest of my life. Now that I think about it, I was totally wrong. The geese leave their voices when they pass by, and the people who pass by leave their names. Just mediocrity. How can smart people not fight or rob? If you want your mother to accept offerings, you have to fight, and you have to use everything available to you. Your mother can have a name only when you become a great person. By that time, even if other people know that your mother lied to Li Junlu to get your name, they will only praise her for her dedication, intelligence, and astuteness. Yang Cixi responded obediently, I listen to you. That's about it, the old lady waved her hand. Go out to eat. I'm going to bed. It smells like fish. She raised her hand to turn off the light. Yang Cixi turned around and walked out. Get close and smell the fish. It's obviously a fresh flavor. After dinner, she went back to the house to change clothes and prepare to wash up. Qin Yanxi was leaning on the bedside reading a book and looked up at her. "Si, do you need me to take you to the train tomorrow?" You don't need to send him off. Yang Cixi was worried that he would get sick on the way, so she cleared her throat and said, don't sleep yet, wait until I finish taking a shower and rest together. Qin Yanxi's eyes were glazed over. What's the meaning? A hint of joy. You didn't tell me earlier. After taking a shower, he lay down on the bed like this and almost fell asleep. At this moment, I feel even more tired. With such a high spirit, if he doesn't perform well, won't he be disliked by her? It's almost enough to take a nap. But it's good to be able to hold her together. As soon as the idea came up, he despised himself fiercely. How can a dignified man be so humble for the sake of a woman? What can we achieve in the future? But how many days has he been out? Earning a living is not something he should consider. He replied neatly, okay, I won't sleep. Yang Cixi smiled at him, took her clothes and left. Wash up and go back to the room. Qin Yanxi put down the book in her hand and came closer to her. Yang Cixi glanced at the cover of the book. My university, is it good? She couldn't read many of the books he read, like Early Morning. The one he recommended her to read before. She reluctantly finished reading it, unable to understand the meaning the author wanted to express. She is still suitable for reading martial arts novels, which are easy to understand. Not bad. Qin Yanxi lay down directly. Take off my glasses. Yang Cixi, she also needs to do such a small thing. All right. It's a matter of raising your hand. She took off his glasses and put them on her eyes. She thought they were plain glasses before, but now she didn't feel the glare when facing the light. It seems that it really has a light blocking effect. I thought he was lying to hide his identity. Am I like a cultural person? Qin Yanxi's lips curled up. Yeah. When you were studying, were you ever taught by a female teacher? When Qin Yanxi mentioned the teacher, the smile on his lips became stronger. Yes, I am still the head teacher. He is pretty good to me. Do I look like your teacher, Qin Yanxi? Get up and answer the question. Qin Yanxi, it's not like that. Don't study blindly. I won't marry my own teacher. Yang Cixi grinned. What are you thinking about? She took off her glasses, leaned over from him, and placed them on the bedside table next to him so that he could wear them at night. Qin Yanxi lowered his eyes and stared at her waist, which was less than the width of his hand. The hug is fleshy. He was about to take advantage when Sci retracted his body. His hands were empty and he lowered his hands calmly. Sci, will you miss me when you go back to your hometown? Yang Cixi did not hesitate this time. Yes, you are my partner, I don't want you to miss anyone else. She turned off the light and got into his arms. ACI, what will you do after I leave? Qin Yanxi was flattered. This attitude clearly tells him that he can do whatever he wants. It's a shame that he has so much ambition and lack of energy. He stretched out his long arms and hugged her, continued to practice martial arts. That tricked him into suffering. Thought he would only practice for a few days? The beauty of thought. In the following days, the other party will also suffer. Oh. Qin Yanxi frowned. Oh. He thought about the meaning of her words and guessed that she was asking after he disappeared. His consciousness when another body is in control. He is sleeping. Occasionally, you can feel another person's state of mind. But this is rare. Because that person goes crazy whenever something happens. After venting his emotions, he will immediately lose consciousness as soon as his mind clears up. Perhaps that was his chance to take back control of his body. The next time he regained consciousness, he tried to wake up. Thinking of this, he added, after practicing martial arts, I will sleep, eat, and wait for you to come back. Yang Cixi understood. After he disappeared, he seemed to be asleep. Can't he confess? When do you plan to wait until to confess? Yang Cixi went to bed early and got up early. She woke up just after dawn. When I was getting dressed, the person next to me held my hand down and said, "Si, why don't you get some more sleep?" Yang Cixi said, when I go back to my hometown today, I have to go to the station early and wait for the ticket check. What's the rush? Qin Yanxi pulled hard and Yang Cixi fell in front of him, putting her hands on his chest. She asked, "What are you doing?" She didn't think of it, and she didn't let her get up. How can there be such a thing? Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 374. Chapter 374. Was it bitten by a mosquito? Isn't the train after 8 o'clock? It's only 5:30 now. We start at 7 o'clock and leave after eating in 10 minutes. We can catch the tram before 20. We will arrive at the station in half an hour, and it shouldn't be time to check in. Qin Yanxi calculated the time accurately. I woke up and couldn't sleep. Yang Cixi struggled to get up. Qin Yanxi hugged her waist and suppressed her. If you can't sleep, you can do something else. Yang Cixi, ... The sky is bright. The old lady came to see Cixi. The door was closed and the curtains were drawn. Haven't gotten up yet? Going back to her hometown today, Sci cannot possibly be in the mood to sleep. It's not like Sic's style. She knocked on the door. Cixi, are you up? It's 6:40. Get up now. Yang Cixi kicked Qin Yanxi and cursed in a low voice, "It's all your fault." It wasn't him who was holding him back, she and the old lady had already arrived at the station. Qin Yan was very satisfied with his speech, so he did not take any measures this time. Hold her to give him a child. It's best to be a girl, as smart and cute as she is. But he cannot be as kind and soft-hearted as her. Have to be like him. Hold grudges, black and white. Don't be angry, he said with a smile. The old lady outside said, then I will go back to the room and wait for you. Okay. Ying Cixi quickly put on her clothes and opened the door. She went into the bathroom and took a shower before starting to brush her teeth and wash her face. When he returned to the room to apply skincare, Qin Yanxi was no longer in the room. The sheets and quilts have been changed. Si, it's time to eat. Grandma is waiting for you. Qin Yanxi's voice appeared at the outer door. Ying Cixi glanced at him secretly. Didn't she blame him? She painted her face and carried her luggage to the main room. The old lady was eating. Your parents-in-law are very nice to you. They prepare meals for you even when you sleep in. She originally thought that it would be difficult to get along with her parents-in-law, who had good family conditions. Even though Cixi had the Shen family as her backer, she was from a rural area after all. Girls who come down have little knowledge and culture and will be looked down upon. It seems that not all parents-in-law are helpless. Ying Cixi, I'm not like this every day. It's okay to sleep in occasionally. After a meal, Qin Yan bid farewell to Ying Cixi and the old lady and went out to take the tram. After they got in the car, he immediately returned home to write a letter, and took a break when he felt vaguely uncomfortable. After falling asleep, the eyes of people who woke up again changed. Find the message and read it. Clenched his fist and beat the table angrily. I actually have to practice for 3 months, oh my waist. Qin Yanxi supported his waist. Is practicing martial arts more tiring than doing farm work? Why is he so tired? His wife has returned to her hometown, and he can't find anyone to complain to. It must be the who deliberately took away his wife in order to take revenge on him. He entered the bathroom and found that his Adam's apple was a little red. Was it a mosquito bite? Ying Cixi sighed, take the train back to your hometown. Sit by the window and look out the window. Farmhouses and fertile fields passed by in a flash. My thoughts suddenly wandered away. I don't know what Qin Yanxi is doing. This point should be changed back, right? She put them all to bed. This is how to do. She sighed and said, Grandma, I feel bad. What's wrong? The old lady worried nervously. What's blocking you? Tell me. Ying Cixi said depressedly, I can't say. Oh, I know. I went out to do errands yesterday. Did you find the person who pursued you? Did you two accomplish something good? The old lady approached her to gossip, not forgetting to check for anyone eavesdropping around her. Roughly the same. Con, you child, if you entrust yourself so early, he will get used to it and ignore you. The old lady slapped her thigh regretfully. She only gave out ideas and did not teach the child to learn to satisfy his appetite. You didn't tell me, you want both. You don't want it right away, right? How long have you known this person? You should hang up first. The old lady wanted to slap herself in the face. It's not right either. Her sister, Cixi, shouldn't be so stupid. Is the other party better than the banquet speaker? More attractive? I know it in my heart, Ying Cixi said. The old lady felt relieved after hearing this. As long as you know the number, who is the best at banquets? Ying Cixi, next time, lie under my bed and listen. Old lady, this girl was even teasing her. Since you know what's going on, don't feel bad. Think of yourself as Wu Zetian. Hug her from left to right. Oh, I'm jealous of you these days. Ying Cixi twitched her eyes. Let's switch. Old lady, bah. Don't talk nonsense. Her life is not something that ordinary people can live. She said, did you notice anything unusual about you during the banquet yesterday? Ying Cixi chuckled, no, he won't find out. She is not afraid even if he is found, she is just a little guilty. When dealing with feelings, You should be sincere and dedicated. That's good. The old lady took out the flatbread and meat sauce. Eat something, I'm full and I feel good, so I don't have time to feel bad. I just had breakfast not long ago, and I'm not hungry yet. Ying Sisi didn't pick up the cake and lay down on the bunk to sleep. The old lady said, I got up so late today, I'm still sleepy now. I'm not sleepy, but I want to rest. Ying Sisi closed her eyes. The old lady stepped forward and pulled the quilt over her. Cover your belly so you don't catch a cold. Ying Sisi was drowsily aware of someone sitting next to her. She opened her eyes and met the eyes of a middle-aged man who was approaching her. The other person is fat and has dark skin. Seeing the silly smile, showing teeth with cigarette stains, girl, I'll sit down for a while. Sit for a while and stick your head in my face? Get out. Ying Sisi stood up like a carp and slapped him. Hogue, he just took advantage of her and was discovered by her. Fortunately, she can stay alert even when sleeping in a strange place. Otherwise, you will have to suffer a loss. The man was beaten so hard that his tooth hurt. Oh, you. He saw that Ying Sisi was not easy to mess with, so he quickly backed away and walked out. Ying Sisi has no intention of letting him go. Jumped down from the bunk, grabbed him by the back collar, lifted him and pressed him against the glass window. The man's facial features were distorted, he struggled hard, and when he couldn't move, he begged for mercy in fear. Girl, I didn't mean it, I didn't mean it. Without saying a word, Ying Sisi opened the glass window and pushed the man out. The man leaned half of his body out of the window, his legs weak with fear, and he shouted for help. The noise caused by the two people had already woken up the people nearby. Everyone watched the farce. He was warm-hearted and began to respond to SISI. This man is a gangster. He wanted to kiss me just now, but I caught him, Ying Sisi said bluntly. Be calm on the face. The roots of the ears are red. She didn't want to say this in public. But if she doesn't speak out loud, the man will think that the woman is at a disadvantage and will just swallow her anger and make things worse. She has to let the other party know that there will be no good fruit if it falls into her hands. People around you look at me, and I look at you. Girl, is there any misunderstanding? At this time, the old lady squeezed in from behind. Sisi, what's wrong? Grandma, where have you been? I just. Ying Sisi explained in detail the other party's behavior. Please vote.